on. This was like from like last week's news, pretty much. DJ Akademiks versus Adam22 on Adam22's show, the No Jumper show. They also did like a Twitch like. It's like they shared shows. Like DJ Akademiks did his little Twitch stream, had it for his people. Adam22 had his No Jumper show. They had it for his people. They both uploaded it on each other's pages or whatever. And the premise of the whole conversation was supposed to be Adam22 apologizing for his interview with Celina Powell and his comments that made Akademiks look like a cuck. And Akademiks was in a rage, and he came and he shouted at Adam22. It was a 4-hour interview. I struggled to get through it. I had to watch that shit in parts because they were pretty much talking in circles, and Akademiks was getting very loud and emotional, wouldn't let Adam22 speak. He disrespected Adam22's woman, Lena the Plug. He disrespected Adam plenty of times during the interview, but Adam22 was pretty much trying to just apologize, and they clearly came in with two different motives. Adam22 came in like, okay, I'm a friend, or you're a friend. We're trying to squash whatever squabble we have, and I apologize for my interview with what's that bitch's name again? Celina Powell. And he was pretty much trying to retract his statements because he let Celina Powell say a bunch of shit that she probably shouldn't have said or whatever. But really and truly, the story was true. And at the end of the whole like 4-hour conversation they had, he made sure to reiterate like she didn't really say anything that wasn't factually true. Like Akademiks brought Celina Powell to Tekashi 6ix9ine's place to try to stage a publicity stunt about them being in the bed together and 6ix9ine sleeping or whatever, just for publicity. And then what ended up happening was 6ix9ine went through her phone. Well, she let him see her phone or whatever, and seen her, doing some sexual acts in the phone. So he wanted a piece of that because he's seen what the mouth do or whatever. So he's like, he wants to pretty much get in on that. And she went downstairs, came back with a condom, and then they fucked or whatever. And Akademiks was mad about it because he's like, he's making him look like a cuck, like he brought his girl over and gave 6ix9ine the condom to smash. But the story is true in that regard. Akademiks was downstairs. She went downstairs to get the condom. I don't know if she got it from him, but, she did smash. And what it really exposed was that Akademiks was in love with Celina Powell, because he talks about it like, okay, if I bring my girl that I'm in love with, he said that on the podcast too. It's like, if he brings his girl that he's in love with and lets another nigga smash, then he's a cuck and it ruins his public image. And that's what he was so concerned about, his public image, which isn't a big image to begin with. I don't know what delusional world he lives in. He's a hip hop. He's a big hip hop media outlet. Like he built a big platform for himself, and then he's also on Complex as a hip hop commentator. He's pretty big in the actual sphere of hip hop, so people understand that he reports the news and he's a big outlet like that. But no one respects him like they respect or look up to certain rappers. No one looks at Akademiks like they idolize Akademiks. Like Akademiks is that guy. Like he's friends with a snitch. He's best friends with a snitch. He promotes the snitch. He sat up on Adam22's podcast and defended the snitch and pretty much defended Adam22's coverage of him and debated his coverage and acted like he was wrong for still covering him, although he doesn't fucks with him. But that's a whole nother story. He went into all sorts of different types of issues he had with Adam22, but the crux of the entire interview was him being mad for looking like a cuck, and Adam22 pretty much just rolling with whatever Celina Powell told him. But Celina Powell recently dropped a video explaining what happened, and she pretty much confirmed the same thing happened. Akademiks didn't deny that what happened in the room of Tekashi smashing Celina Powell, but he's denying that he actually gave her the condom or whatever, and he was supporting the whole thing, although he brought her to his house to stage a publicity stunt like they were fucking. So I'm kind of confused with that. But throughout the whole interview, what I gauged from it, or what I got from it, that is Akademiks actually had feelings for Celina Powell, and he was pretty much not claiming her as his girlfriend, but he makes comparisons all the time to Lena the Plug and Adam22's relationship, and he's like, what would you do if Lena did X, Y, and Z, and Lena this and that. He keeps drawing the comparison. He kept trying to disrespect Lena, and it shows that he was hurt that Celina Powell actually did what she did with Tekashi 6ix9ine and made him look like a cuck. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's what happened. You had feelings for her. You tried to hide your feelings, but you told on yourself various times during that interview that you had feelings. Because let's put it this way. If he had no feelings for Celina Powell and he was smashing her, but he brought her to the crib and he let his nigga fuck or whatever, it's like, that's not your girl. That's just not a girl you have feelings for. It was just some girl that you got head from and you smashed or whatever. So what would be the attachment? What would make you look like a cuck? None of that. None of that. He talks about the difference between white people and black people when it comes to these type of sexual interactions, and white people get away with certain things because they're culturally different, and black people can't get away with certain things because they'll get destroyed and roasted online for their actions. But really and truly, I don't see the parallel that he was trying to draw. He was making a lot of false equivalencies. Yeah, I'm fucking up that word. He's making a lot of false equivalences, and it just didn't make any sense to me. He was barking and shouting. He made himself look like a fool, to be honest. He made himself look like an emotional fool in that whole podcast. Adam22 could have stood up for his girl a little bit more. Could have stood up for himself. He let Akademiks get away with a lot of disrespectful shit. But every time he tried to talk, Akademiks was like, Adam, and talking over him. And at the end of the day, Akademiks did admit if he was in person, that interview would have went different. He wouldn't have been shouting over him and getting into his Twitch mode character that he gets into, where he starts shouting on everybody drunk off the Henny. But for the most part, I don't know what public image Akademiks thinks he has. I think he thinks he's a rapper, or people look up to him like he's a rapper or he's someone cool or anything, but he doesn't understand that most people look at him like he's a cornball, like he's a loser, like he's a dweeb. He spoke about things that Adam22 did in the culture vulturing type of stuff, but coming from Akademiks, like, he may have had certain points on certain things, but coming from Akademiks, it came through so hypocritically, because he was someone that's not from the street, that tried to perpetrate the street life and report on street shit, and had niggas going back and forth with each other, killing each other for the clout and the coverage on his page. So coming from him, it didn't really land well, and it came across super hypocritical, although it wasn't an exact parallel. Like, Adam22 didn't do that type of stuff. Adam22, he interviews a lot of upcoming rappers. They don't do the same things. That's why he made a lot of false equivalences and tried to act like they do the same thing. They're two dudes within hip hop media, but they don't do the same thing. All right, I'm talking in circles like that interview now. The major point of that was that, Akademiks made himself look like a fool, but Adam22 could have definitely done a better job of defending himself, his girl, and, the bullshit allegations that Akademiks kept bringing up throughout that interview. But for the most part, that was a W for the No Jumper podcast. They got more coverage. They got more eyes on them. And that was an L for Akademiks, because he's looking like he's imploding. There's plenty of YouTube videos saying Akademiks lost his mind. Independent YouTubers going in on Akademiks saying he took the L in that he's losing his mind. This whole public perception shit in the comments are really getting to him. His chat niggas, his little group of people that he puts a lot of weight into their words. He puts too much weight into their words, clearly, because they're affecting him. And it's affecting his mental well-being and his place in hip-hop. So he needs to get the shit together. He's taking L's all over the place.